we are back. What's happening, everybody?
Hello?
It's Persona time once again. Sorry, it's been a while. How's everybody doing?
I thought today was Monday for some reason.
Nope, it's Sunday.
Good. I have tomorrow off
Yes.
because of Memorial Day.
Big Persona hours. Big fucking Persona hours. Yeah, sorry this stream kind of just came out of nowhere. I didn't know when we were going to have time to stream, and I didn't want to just send a message being like, we'll probably stream soon, because I feel like that's way more annoying. But glad you made it home. Thanks, Ojiro. So, just as a little recap, because I'm sure someone forgot. We had to leave the dungeon because we couldn't get through a door, so we need to change Sai's cognition, and apparently she's conveniently doing a trial tomorrow.
Yes, and we have to be there.
Yep. There is
See, I remember.
there is some random remote text you can find. Because so here's the thing, the way this goes is the day after you leave the palace is when the trial happens, because they don't want to make you wait. There's some date in this in between that's supposed to be a holiday.
Mm-hmm.
If you time it so that way the trial is happening on that date, you get some random text where like one of your party members is like, why is the court even open today? And like fucking Akechi says some bullshit like, oh, it's an important case, so they figured, fuck it, we should do it like today.
I had a wild Balala run earlier, Baron Blueprint, and that one that re-triggers inhantability.
How the fuck do you keep forcing Baron every time? Secret ingredient, red wine.
Red wine.
This alcoholic beverage is used to add acidity, richness, and depth to the curry. It also tenderizes the meat. The alcohol cooks off while the curry is stewing, leaving behind antioxidants that protect skin and reduce signs of aging.
I always want to make recipes that are cooked with wine, but I know you don't drink alcohol by choice. So it's like...
Well, the alcohol cooks out. I just also don't really... I can't imagine it would taste good.
Sometimes it's really good.
Yes.
It depends how you cook it.
Got Andy 11, we got father, boss was a discard one. That sucks.
Well then.
Yeah, thank you. But yeah, I don't know the exact date, but there is some like remote text you can force.
Awesome.
What's this about?
Oh, our teacher maid wife is getting us some free time.
Hell yeah.
Oh.
I feel like I haven't played Balala? Fuck.
Balatro.
I feel like like my brain is just not here right now.
Yeah, good.
I feel like I haven't played that in a while.
Yeah, it's because I don't believe you have.
I've been playing ZZZ because I pulled every engine and every person this banner, which is fucking crazy. Like, how the fuck did I do that?
Okay, let's go.
Alright, to the courthouse.
I can't believe I got my second lighter. I got 2 out of 6. Each time you pull like a repeat up to 6 times, it gives like more stat ups and stuff.
This is what the courtroom is like.
Just being here causes my body
And
to
the Beans
tense.
has died in the other room. Or Pepper. No, Beans is right there.
Peppy.
Pepper, did
Oh,
you get in the ceiling?
No, it's probably just her like trying to get in the window.
I'm shocked that Nijima-san could think of somewhere this
So
solid
I have a
as
fun
casino.
fact about court.
So Makoto says
When
that
I got
Kyoto's
picked for
overflowing
jury
with the
duty,
aura of a capable
I
woman.
got so nervous. I went nonverbal. And they interview each person individually to see if you're quote unquote fit or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
Oh, dude, you guys went live and I'm literally not curled up. Jammies on dinner fixed, drink mixed. What is this?
I'm sorry, we didn't know when we were going to be able to stream, so I didn't want to send out a thing, like, at the beginning of the week being like, we might stream.
Yeah, because we were wishy-washy on what weekend days, or if we were streaming on the holiday or not. So we just decided to surprise instead.
His mistress to some
But we appreciate you being here.
Yes, and
Thank
you
you
can
for
always
sub.
change that. You can always curl up in your jammies and get
Our
some dinner and a drink
politician's
made.
supposed to be loaded. Why do you mess with our tax money?
But yeah, when I went to jury duty, I got so fucking nervous I went nonverbal, and trying to explain that to somebody, they're like they were like, "Oh, we don't have a translator. You can you're free to go."
Yeah.
And I went in the car and cried because I was so embarrassed.
You got a jury duty, dude. That's like the goal.
I wanted to actually do it.
Dude, there are people who get signed up for jury duty, and when they ask like if they have biases, they just start shouting racial slurs because they don't want to do jury duty. You're fine.
Don't worry, I'm only upset for the bit. I would never be upset about a stream.
Sai-san can be a bit of a perfectionist.
Hey, how are we gonna get Nijima-san to notice us? Did you tell her we'd be coming? I don't think she read the message, though. Do we have a backup plan?
Not exactly.
So is this a thing? Are you just allowed to sit in on random court cases and just be like, I want to watch someone get like thrown in prison?
I mean, technically, yes and no, right? Because if you think about it, popular court cases are all televised. That's the same thing.
Yeah, but like we're here in person. I always figured like people in like the crowd in like a courtroom are like related to the like it's like the people's family or something.
Mm.
Now that I think about it, there was a message about her coming. That doesn't matter for now.
See? It's almost time to begin.
All right. Nijima can see now.
No, I'm pretty sure you can just show up. That's weird.
This should let us enter that high limit.
Like
imaging.
I've had some real bored days in my fucking day, but I cannot imagine being so bored I'd go sit in a court case.
I would, because I love watching like crime shows and shit.
First in the Constitution, that's what the public part of speeding in public trial means. Oh, I see. Most cases are boring as shit, so you wouldn't want to. Right, okay, sure. I guess that makes sense. Yeah, we're back in the dungeon.
Oh, you just snap right back in.
Yeah, no, it's basic. I mentioned this like when the concept was shown to us. Like it really is just a thing that they bring up as a possibility. Like I think that's the last time you do it. I gotta be honest, I might be wrong. Yeah, the dice area again.
You're missing one more seed.
We've
Yeah, but I
arrived.
think it's past that
do we
elevator.
do for
Actually, should we go to the? Yeah, because the elevator's gonna be right there.
We've arrived. Now,
Yeah, I catch you. We're going. You fucking.
Yeah.
To the high limit floor.
yeah.
Sweet, the door was blocking about is gone now. This is what cognitive control looks like. You're gonna have a heart attack. You getting surprised like that. Honestly, that was all somewhat hard to believe. Look, there's a good counter up ahead. Shall we head there first? Suppose there would be no issue in stopping by. Let's go. See, this would all be like solved if like we stopped bringing every single person with us on all these fucking missions. But like,
Yeah.
so we could have someone on the outside be like, hey, you go do this real quick. But at the same time, I don't really know what would happen if we stayed in the cognitive world overnight.
I imagine you would probably get erased or something.
Well, like, your cognitive is still going when you're asleep.
Your cognition's very different when you're asleep, though.
Yeah.
Maybe that's Persona 6.
Oh, fuck me. You know, that maybe. I could buy that. If I'm more, there's a map for the high level floor. Show us your prizes. Want to exchange your coins for a members card. We do have prizes, but that's unfortunately not one of them.
How do you mean?
How are we supposed to get to the manager's floor? Actually, there's no need for a card. Please head over there. That sounds suspicious. Well, we cannot proceed unless we check it out. Why don't we head over there for the time being? Don't really have a better fucking option now, do we? Up we go. I love the card fence.
Yeah. That is sick.
This looks like something you would see in like a tacky Minecraft mod, and I want it.
A Balatro Minecraft mod.
Oh. Royal Dagger. That's for us.
Sorry, I was counting stitches when you said that.
You're good.
That's why it took me a minute. Also, I got my new glasses. I no longer need prescription or progressive lenses, but it's very weird to get used to because it takes my eyes a second to adjust. But
Yes.
they said that would go away because after I got my concussion, I had to get progressives because my eyes weren't focusing right. And now she wants me to try not having progressives, and they were like a reading level.
To see if like your eyes can adjust on their own.
Yeah, to see if my eyes can kind of fix themselves. And I haven't gotten a headache, which is good. It's just like taking a minute, which is kind of pissing me off.
So we need 100,000 coins to lower this bridge.
I love how it's coins. It's not even yen or anything. Like, it's just straight up tokens.
Yeah, well, it's weird because they're not called chips; they're just called coins. So I wonder if that is a censorship thing. But like,
It's probably because
also
like
don't think-
gambling in Japan, it's not.
not like allowed at all.
Yeah. I'm trying to fucking recline in my stupid chair. It's not stupid. I'm being stupid.
So we gotta go figure out what games we can play on this floor. I'm gonna move your cup so I
It's
can see.
empty.
Oh, just like fucking thunder.
I
cunt
finished
in
my
the
iced
floor.
coffee.
Thing about Persona 6 actually gets my goat when the fuck that phrase in my vocabulary. Because I know when it comes out, they're gonna put an unequivocally better version of the game out 2 years afterwards. Yeah, but that's the weird thing, because I've thought about that. Because the obvious comparison I make in my head is like Pokemon, right? But even Pokemon stopped doing that. But at the very least, with Persona, you get like the original version for a few years. It's not like a year later. It's not like almost right after here's, you know, the Platinum version. Would I have the patience to wait for Persona 6 Sneed? Yeah, I don't know if I would. The original 10 behind the hum of the floor is different from the others, and this floor VIPs are encouraged to send substitutes to compete in the games of their place. Considered like horses and horse racing, however, it seems you have no substitutes. Of course we don't, that should be obvious. Indeed it is! Hence, you'll be the vital participants in these games. So you basically need to be our own substitutes. Sounds perfect to me, it's way better than spectating. Splendid! Now allow me to explain the rules. A straightforward maze lies directly ahead of you. That's an oxymoron, isn't it? I suggest you exercise utmost caution within, as the lighting is dimmed quite heavily. Your entry fee this maze will be 1,000 coins. But if you can manage to reach the goal, well, you'll obtain 10 times that amount. 10,000 coins just from completing a maze? No wonder they call it the high limit floor. I doubt the maze will be as simple as it sounds. Should we try the maze?
I have a feeling we have to.
One more thing, you're free to head backward in the maze or even leave the room if you so choose. Well, then please enjoy.
Huh?
Well,
Is there a safe room around here somewhere?
well, we can save. If I go the right fucking direction. Jameson, you stupid fucking ape.
It's just
Yeah, no, it is weird. Because, like, that is just a constant, isn't it, with Persona. But
Back to explore?
I don't know, dude. I think if Persona 6 ever did actually fucking come out before I died, then, like, I think I would just be hyped enough to fucking buy it, I gotta be honest. I think I would just be like, oh, fucking finally.
What color do you think
I think,
it would be?
I remember seeing something where one of the head Atlas people was like, Persona 6 is gonna be green. But I have no idea if that's still true.
That would be sick.
I'm buying it right away, yeah. Of course you are. I probably would too.
I would as well, when I have money.
So, it's not a little dim. It's fucking pitch black, and there's enemies in here. Luckily, we have Joker vision. I'm gonna destroy this thing with my sulfur vision. I think vanilla P5 was largely okay. I remember someone explaining to me how much was lacking in original Persona 4. Yeah, but I think that just comes down to original Persona 4 is like a fucking PS2 game or some shit. And it was just like, you gotta, you know, sometimes it's just like the game's old, you know? And just how old-ass RPGs were. As someone who loves old-ass RPGs,
I have something.
sometimes remembering what old-ass RPGs were like is like remembering the Great fucking Depression.
To be fair, Persona 4 was also made in a cave with a box of scraps.
Yeah, Persona 4, original P4 was basically like a scraped-together Frankenstein monster out of spare bits from Persona 3.
And it still slapped.
Yeah.
It's a similar situation to New Vegas.
Yeah. Yeah, it really is, isn't it?
This has to be a joke.
Yeah, so they're cheating. So the fucking door is locked. There's no way out. But we found a vent.
Something, something among us.
See it.
Thank you, sweetheart. You've said that every time.
I sure have, and it won't stop.
I really wish it would. This door is open, though.
Enemies! Don't worry though, they're no big deal. It's enemies we need though.
See, it's weird,
I
though.
love the designs of those.
What, these things?
Mm.
Ow. See, it's weird, though. Right? Because the Persona games, when we get those enhanced versions, they do basically completely replace their original version. Right, like there's basically not a reason to play vanilla Persona 4, vanilla Persona 5. I would say there's not a reason to play like vanilla Persona 3, but some people would fucking disagree with me. And it's weird because like
Sure is
on some level I'm like, isn't that the fucking point?
Not everyone likes to be
But on some
cheered
other
up.
level I'm also like, man, it does kind of feel like a waste, doesn't it? You know?
Here's the thing. There's nothing really mega wrong with the vanillas. But I feel like with the Persona games, with how fast they're coming out of remakes, I feel like they're trying to get everything up to, like, modern. Like, almost modernized before they even focus on 6.
Yeah, maybe.
You hope Atlas is well funded enough by now just to make the game good the first time. After Persona 5 and Metaphor sold like crazy, but Atlas is so...
Yeah.
And, like, I really like Metaphor. I really do, but I can also understand why people don't like it. And compared to Persona 5, or just Persona in general, there are some parts of Metaphor that feel really lackluster, but I think that's a great starting off point for, like, a new type of series through Atlas, is doing, like, a Metaphor series.
And
We'll talk more when I stream it on the channel.
yeah,
I have a lot of talking points.
that's gonna be a long fucking time from now.
It looks suppressed. Don't trouble it with more info than it needs.
But I would hope, you know, because the vanilla games, there's nothing necessarily really wrong with them to the point of needing a remake, but the remake just complements the vanilla so well. It's like you're gonna pick the better option, if that makes sense. It's not because it was quote-unquote bad.
Yeah.
It's like some of them didn't age well when they were first made, but
Yeah.
I would hope that hopefully they would just come out with a complete version of Persona 6, especially after doing it this many times.
Yeah.
Especially now DLC is super common and all that
Right,
shit.
I was gonna say, like, if fucking Pokemon stopped doing it, I wouldn't be surprised if they're like, man, we're not gonna get away with this, you know what I mean? Like,
Fighting games used to be really bad about this. It's mostly a Japanese genre, so it took a while for them to learn what online updates are. But until then, it was like, oh, you have Street Fighter 4, but we're playing Super Street Fighter 4 now. There will be an Ultra Street Fighter 4 2 years after that.
yeah, no, isn't there straight up, like, 9 versions of Street Fighter 3 or something? Like,
I also heard Metaphor was gonna be Persona 6, but they ended up making it its own thing.
I would not be surprised even a fucking little bit, because, like... Because, like, the thing with, like, Metaphor, like, the whole, like, calendar system really feels kind of stapled on in Metaphor versus in Persona, where it's, like, the fucking point.
It doesn't later, but in the beginning it absolutely does. My issue is, like, Persona focuses so much on social links and so much on your relationships with people, but then in Metaphor, it's, like, weirdly cold and basic, and then also no romance options, kind of fucking blows.
Which is fine from, like, a writing perspective, but then you end up asking yourself the question, like, okay, then why the fuck why is it acting like it has, like, social links?
Right.
I wanted to like Metaphor. I dropped it like a fucking sack of garbage. I gotta be so
I
honest.
think you're gonna like watching it and having me play it. But there are things about that game that are going, if you played it, you would not be able to get through it because it would drive you up a wall, and you're also very used to Persona.
Well, the
Metaphor plays a lot more like an SMT game in some aspects.
My problem, like, with, like, everything I, like, experienced about Metaphor, I felt myself going, like, yeah, I get it, if that makes sense. Like, because I didn't get super far, I will admit, but, like, the battle system, I was like, okay, yeah, I get it. I feel like I don't have the tools to use this in any fucking capacity, but I get it. And then, like, the archetype shit, I get it. It levels up so fucking slow, I basically can't use it, but I get it.
In the beginning, it does, yes.
Right, but that's, like, the important part. You need to make a good, like, impression. And then, like, and then I ran into, like, a fucking enemy that was like, uh-oh, you picked the wrong one, and it one-tapped my entire party, and I went, alright, I'm done. I'm not gonna find out how many more times the game pulls that. I am all fucking set.
Plays like SMT in some aspects mean the entire battle system, yeah.
I also think it's kind of horseshit to basically lose, like, 3 turns because I dared to click a move that didn't have perfect fucking accuracy. Like, that's way too much. That's way too punishing.
I actually think I like the battle system of Metaphor more, but I think I like the story and the plot of Persona more.
Well, yeah, it would help. In Metaphor, it was literally...
Metaphor's
literally how to write racism 101, like, in the most basic fucking manner possible.
I love how in Metaphor you can use weaknesses against them, kind of similar to this, but you can abuse the shit out of it. When you learn that fighting system, it's a rude awakening to get used to it, but once you learn the fighting system, you can absolutely destroy people. The only thing in Metaphor that I fucking hated was the Dragon Trials. Oh my god, it's not required. But me being completionist, I did the Dragon Trials. Fuck the Dragon Trials, those were stupid. But I also really liked the archetypes a lot more than the personas because you could customize each character how you wanted. You could change it at any time. You weren't stuck with, oh, this person does this and this, and then they sit in the back of the party forever. You can use the same party members if you want and actually change them in accordance to the story. They're much more useful like you are, where you can switch out personas and stuff. It's like the archetype system really allows for flexibility.
Yeah, I wish I could
not
interact
only
with
with
it.
yourself but with your other party members.
Yeah, and I wish I could fucking interact with it, but like
I love
they level
you
up
so
so
much,
fucking slow.
I think you're just very used to Persona because you do have to grind a little bit.
Yeah, and that's boring. I don't want to grind. I want to play the fucking
Says
video
the
game.
guy who fucking plays Pokemon.
What Pokemon game are you grinding in? Pokemon is the least grindy franchise in the fucking world.
Just like, you're saying it like grinding is like the worst thing in the world, but it's like, it's tedious, sure, but it's not a huge deal. But like, I feel that way about Pokemon. It's like the same shit.
Pokemon's not grindy. Pokemon's the easiest fucking game in the world.
It's tedious. It's like you walk through here, you go to a gym, you walk through here.
That's not grinding, Salem. That's
no, it's not
grinding.
You are missing my point.
You're misusing words.
I'm saying you like really tedious shit, and it.
No, I don't, because I didn't like Metaphor.
I didn't have to grind a Metaphor.
No, like, honestly, for me, it was just like...
I did a little, it wasn't too bad.
For me, like, I was getting it, and I was like, okay, yeah, I can see this getting better. Like, I can see where this is going, and then as soon as it hit me with the, uh-oh, this one doesn't like your archetype, and just instant kill my entire party, I went, this game's not worth it. I don't care anymore. Like,
I love
dropped
you,
it.
but that's also just learning the weaknesses of the game.
No, it isn't. That's
the strengths of the game. It's like...
No, that's literally a trap, because, like, it's for the first time you play it, you're not gonna know. That's literally a trap.
It is a learning part of the game, to pay attention to that shit.
Okay. If you were playing a Zelda game...
Yeah.
If you were playing a Zelda game...
Yep.
And you walked into a dungeon...
Yep.
And randomly, in, like, the third room... like a cutscene starts and went, uh-oh, you're wearing the red tunic, and you got a game over immediately. That's not a learning opportunity.
That's not what happened, though.
That is what happened. Randomly, you go to fight an enemy, and it goes, uh-oh, you picked the magician archetype. Time to fucking die, and your entire party dies. And I went, okay, I don't care anymore.
I think you just got too frustrated with trying to figure out the archetype system and building the archetypes. Because I agree with you. There is almost like a learning curve, or it's like getting used to the battle system, especially when you are really used to Persona. But I really like the battle system a lot more. I feel like it makes a lot more sense story-wise and also just flexibility-wise. And it makes shit interesting because if you don't pay attention to the weaknesses, the bosses are gonna kick your ass. You have to pay attention.
Right, and that's fine. I've played SMT. I didn't get a chance to. I was playing SMT4, but the Steam version sucks and crashes all the time, so I need to like go back and like emulate it or something.
I didn't have to grind until the end of the Dragon Trials. I think I stayed in one area a little longer to make extra money. But
Right,
I
but-
didn't like mega grind. Like if I did, it was like 5-10 minutes until the Dragon Trials. The Dragon Trials is the worst part of that
Right,
game.
like-
And it's awful.
In Titan Saints,
That-
that's the SMT in the game because you fight a boss and you get your ass whooped. And that's fine. But what I'm saying is not like I tried a strategy and it didn't work. I mean, in bright fucking text on the top of the screen, it literally went, the enemy hates your fucking vibe, and then I instantly died. That's not, I tried a strategy and it didn't work. That's, I started the fight without knowing, oh, I guess I shouldn't do that. Like, that's literally the shit, like that's horseshit. Like, if a game from 20 years ago pulled that, none of you would be giving it the good grace to be like, oh, it's a learning thing. You'd be like, oh yeah, it's an old game, it sucks. Like, if a fucking Super Nintendo game pulled that, you'd be like, yeah, they did to sell fucking strategy games.
I disagree because I think that game pissed you off and it has permanently biased you.
No.
I saw you playing that game and getting mad at it and then shut it off. Like you played that battle like 3 or 4 times and then you're like, "Okay, I'm done," and never touched it again.
Yeah, because I didn't want to find out how many more times the game fucking pulls that shit. I was like, alright.
I don't know.
I can see, like, I don't know, I might pick it up again. Like, I can see how those mechanics would be good, but, like, first impressions on that game were fucking awful, I gotta be honest.
If it was necessary boss, yeah, but that only happens for side quests.
Yeah, but that's asinine. Why does it happen at all? That's stupid. Like, because again, that's not like, oh, I
They're
failed the
side quests.
Right, but that's like, it's not like I failed the strategy. It's like, it just was like, oh, man, it doesn't like you. Nah, sucks dick.
Let's
Like,
do it.
I like it when games make you think outside the box. That's one of the reasons I really like BG3, for example, and I know how much you fucking hate BG3. But I really like how you can, oh yeah, I can just be a warlock and shoot spells, or you can, like, set up barrels and blow people up, or you can shove them off cliffs and they fucking die, or you could just send them to the eagles, like, etc., etc.
yeah, but in both...
You know, like I like it when games give you an option to really customize your playing and battle experience within
Right.
the rules.
And that's-
But like, I really like Persona, don't get me wrong, but it does frustrate me because a lot of good party members who I want to learn more with or interact more with get benched because they're fucking useless, because you get them in the first fucking part of the game and then it's like they are weak to everything for the rest of the game. Or they are
I
just
wouldn't-
not strong, or they just have shit move pools, and it's like,
I don't think that's honestly that bad. I can't think of too many. I like, you know, like the only character I can think of that you get super early in a Persona game where I'm like, yeah, I'm not using them is like Yusuke. Like,
yeah,
and that's even then you can still use him. I just don't like using him.
Let's make this quick.
Yusuke, Yosuke.
We were using him like we were using
Eh,
Yosuke for
not a
like
lot,
most of the
though.
game. Like since the moment we got him, like yeah, we only now kind of stopped using him. I could grab whenever I want.
I don't know. I feel like this game does a pretty good job of balancing it compared to like Reload, for example. It's like Ken, never touched him. He
No,
was
Ken-
annoying
Ken
and he
sucks.
sucked in the plot, but he also just sucked as a party member. And it's like,
Yeah, Ken sucks. That's,
it's like okay, and then you get the best party member, and then the unspeakable happens, and then it's
well, he's made overpowered for like because that's the
Don't-
point.
I we'll get there when we get there, but
No, but like here's the thing, right? With the Baldur's Gate example,
Let's go.
Baldur's Gate never once goes, uh-oh, you respecting the Warlock and fucking removes the character from the game. Like, because, I don't mind if, like, oh, that strategy didn't work, I should try something else. That's fine. That's part of having a strategy in a video game. Like, I don't, like, literally, like, before turn 1 even starts, yeah, we decided you're dead now, actually. That's bad game design. Like, that's genuinely just bad game design.
I disagree with you totally because it's literally just meant to be there to learn.
That's not learning, that's a trap.
But it's not a trap because you kept going in with the same fucking. You didn't change the archetypes. That's the entire fucking problem. You charged in
No,
with
I
the
did.
same archetypes. You changed one other person's archetype to something else.
No, I
but you
changed it.
didn't balance the team.
No, I changed it. It didn't fucking work. So I went, alright, I don't care anymore. Pretty sour on like element matching a strategy pillar doesn't add depth to a game, just basic pattern recognition. Only ends up being cool as the elements are tangibly different. Like from what I know, Pokemon actually does each job. Like fire types don't have moves and stats equivalent to ice types. Yeah, I mean there's some overlap obviously, but yeah. Him being overpowered is tricky to liking him and you fell for it. Yeah, I don't know. I might pick up Metaphor again at some point, but like, cause like I can see where
if you're
this would be
getting
good.
frustrated in the beginning, you're gonna fucking hate the last act because the difficulty curve is stupid in that game, and that is one thing I do not like about Metaphor. It's like easy, 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 and then the last act is like fuck you.
Well, yeah, but like the end of the game should be hard.
It's more than hard. It's kind of fucking obnoxious. I spent what, like 3 days trying to beat the end boss Titan?
Yeah, but didn't you like not need to do that? Weren't you doing extra
No,
bullshit
no, I'm
one
talking
needed you to do?
I'm not talking about the dragons, I'm talking about the final boss.
No. Last night
And Titan, I think, took a week.
the last night the Metaphor reminds me of an SNT game. The fuck yeah, the do you win fights before them or during them? Yeah, that's yeah. Well, in Pokemon, like Pokemon's a weird example of the elemental thing because it basically comes down to like how good are the boss's teams versus like any other game where it's just like you kind of need to give them some degree of a weakness because like of course you do.
It took me 3 days of grinding to beat the final boss. That sucked. Maybe it was me who took a week. I can't remember.
I think I literally asked you, I'm like, can you stop playing fucking Metaphor so I stop hearing you scream about dragons for 3 hours every day?
No, again, that wasn't the final boss. Those were the dragons.
I think you did it all in one go.
I did not do it in one go. I wanted to, but I did not.
Just mentioned I was playing on easy mode. Yeah, I see you guys are not really selling me on this. Yeah, the end of the game should be hard, but it shouldn't take a week to fucking grind it out hard.
The effects of cognition are low here.
I don't know. Like, I wanted to like Metaphor. It was the dragon, now the final boss took you forever. You beat the final boss in 2 tries.
I should write something.
Oh, that's right. I might have been talking to Waffle then. I know somebody took a week for the last fucking boss. I can't remember.
It might have been, yeah, actually, I forgot.
might have been Waffle.
It might have been him, because I forgot he even played it.
That's right, because I did the final boss and I was like, I don't like... That is a long boss fight. Losing that boss fight is not like, oh, I'll try again. It's like an hour.
Oh, we already got it. Or, no. We only have 10,000.
Funny enough, my game in theory was supposed to be built for win fights during them, but in practice went to win before because I always get entertained seeing my players set up sick ambushes. I didn't struggle that much with the dragons. They each have a gimmick, and once you learn it, it's fine. Yeah, my problem is I didn't fucking get the gimmicks. And I'll be so honest, when we stream it, I don't think I'm going to play in easy mode because I do want to test something. I almost think they have you in easy mode for the first 2 acts, and then the final act is in, like, an entirely different level. Because it was, like, a crazy spike. It was not just like, the end of the game got hard. It's like...
I promise you that would be information. Like, you would see that on the internet. People being like, oh yeah, no, it secretly bumps it up. Like, people would know that.
I feel like it, like, got stupidly hard very quickly, and that's fine.
Yes.
But...
Previous supremacy in a trio of fierce one-on-one battles, and again, this is the pinnacle vaccine of the high limit floor. Normally, it would be a piece of pair of substitutes, blah, blah, blah. We're doing gladiatorial combat. Since the Willy Spikes and Dragons are super bosses, they're supposed to kick your ass, yeah.
Hey.
Dragons are harder than the end of the game, which is fucking stupid, but it is kind of worth it to get it done.
Is it one of those things, like, you just, like, you do it and it just gives you, like, insane weapons or something to, like, make
Yeah.
the final boss, like, a
I should
cakewalk?
write something.
Yeah.
Okay.
From what I remember, I think it was a armor piece, because there's, like, an entire party killing move that the final boss can do, and that saves you from that, if I remember correctly. So it'll kill everyone but that one person with that armor.
How about this?
Not in my experience. Final boss was much harder. I disagree with you. Those dragons were awful.
I mean, again, that's the difference between getting the gimmick and
Because
not getting
I
it,
didn't think the
suppose.
final boss was, like, harder, if that makes sense. Because the boss, like, the thing with the bosses, they all have gimmicks, right? But the boss was much more straightforward in what you had to do. Whereas the dragons were just like, fuck you. Each dragon gives you really good armor that makes you immune to fire, and the last dragon has a fire attack that does the 9,999 damage. Yeah,
Are those
that's
the-
what I'm thinking
Are
of.
those the only pieces of armor in the game that are immune to fire? I
Yes.
feel like it would be really... Really?
Yes!
Okay.
But again, those dragons are not required.
You see, Titan's saying that no, there's other armor that's immune to fire, so I feel like
Oh.
you don't need to go through that effort.
Well, I didn't get it, because that was my only armor I had that was immune.
There's accessories. Okay, yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay. I was just referring to the armor.
What the hell? There's two of them.
This isn't one-on-one at all. They're just ignoring the rules right from the beginning.
I also, like, again, I didn't get that far into it, so I can't actually give, like, a super solid, concrete, like, metaphor story, but, like, it really felt like someone, like, learned the word, like, discrimination, was like, I should write an entire story about that. Like, it really felt like the most basic observations about that kind of problem
Honestly,
that I could ever think of, and it's like, I bet they thought they were real clever with, like, oh, the fantasy character's book is like a modern world, ha ha ha, the awful, gross monsters are called humans, I'm so smart. Like, God, shut up, please.
I kind of am picking up what you're stepping in. I had a similar vibe when I first started the game, but the end of the game and the story throughout that game is really fucking good. It's so fucking good. Like, I love the way that story went down. It makes Izanami look short.
Oh, fuck that. What? Alright, hold on, what did you say? I think most entertaining gameplay has been Persona so far as the big boss behind the last Monad door and Reload. What was it called? Like the Heart of the Void or something? I think Reaper Solitude. Oh yeah, the one that was like a
Yeah.
recolor of like the blob
It
enemy
gets a
thing.
lot more complicated later on. Yeah, it's pretty much just like, wow, this feels really relatable to real life. And then all of a sudden you're like, oh my god, I'm watching an anime. What the fuck?
Right.
And it's really good. The main villain is really well written. He sure fucking is. You know a villain is really well written when you can almost sympathize and understand why he's doing what he's doing, but you still realize he's wrong.
Right.
You know, like, that's something as a writer is really important to me. Because I do not like it when a video game or a piece of media is like, they're bad because I said so. Because
Yeah, giving it
people just
giving
don't
a nuance.
become bad. People don't just like
Giving a
become
nuance
evil.
is harder than it sounds.
Well, yeah, but it's also making it so even if you don't agree with them, you can still see how they got there, and you can still
Right.
see how things like that happen. So it's like minor spoilers for my book, okay? Minor spoilers. The evil guy in my book, his name is Dastra.
I hold on before you go on this whole tangent.
Okay.
This entire section, by the way, is an SMT reference. There's a part on SMT Nocturne where you do a fight in an arena and it ends with you fighting Thor.
That's a big one.
Nice.
And that's just what this is referencing.
Awesome.
Anywho, sorry, go on. Talk about fucking Ganondorf. What are we talking about?
It's not Ganondorf, it's Dastroth. Fuck you. So the main villain in my book series for the Verdian trilogy is Dastroth. And in the first book, it's shown, you know, it's like the main character doesn't know a lot of what's going on. She's just told she has to kill this dude to get back home. That's all she's told. And then she starts learning more about this dude in the second book on why he has absolutely sunk so fucking far, and it's devastating. But it's wrong that he's doing it, but it makes a lot more sense. You know, I do not like the tropes where villains are just bad for the sake of it, just because you need a villain to make the plot work. It's like, okay,
Good job, Raul.
build this villain into this plot then. Like,
Once again,
you know,
justice
most people are
prevails.
not born bad. Most people are born
Normal.
pretty happy and normal. People will
it's-
become revengeful,
Jo-
deceitful, whatever for...
Jokes about how, like, most people in our chat feel about children aside, most babies are in fact not fucking evil.
Yeah.
Like, main villain's
So-
a great representation of nihilism. Yeah, it makes sense for that kind of plot.
Incredible! They
Sorry,
never
go on.
even planned on giving you a fair fight in there.
Yeah.
Yes, I expected that would be the case. Our other trials have been rigged as well, after all.
So you sent Joker in knowing full well the possible dangers?
I simply had faith in his skill.
We're on the same pendulum, but different phases of the cycle here. I feel like too many middling writers heard understandable villains critique and turned a bunch of meow meow ass villains to the point where I find it refreshing when someone like Diavolo is just pure evil for no reason. I also don't find it unrealistic when people are evil at prophecy. Some people are just jackasses, right? Here's the thing.
To the bridge.
Here's the thing. Very few people are evil without reason. But that does not mean the reason is necessarily a strong one. Sometimes the reason is just, I want money. Sometimes the reason is, I want drugs, or women, or whatever. Something material in their mind. That was a weird way to phrase that, but you know what I meant. Like, it's, some people have, like, this, like, noble vision that becomes corrupted, where some people are just like, I just want money. You know? And that's still a reason.
Yep.
Sometimes you can just be evil for the love of the game, and, like, sometimes you're just there because the franchise needs a villain. Ganon. But, like...
Yeah, but it's like, here's the thing, like... Sorry, continue your thing. I didn't mean to interrupt.
I've been listening to a bunch of podcasts about as dictators lately. You like, making some new retirement plans or something? Like... Alright, okay. Sorry, no, I was just
People
gonna
like
read
Loki
that off.
from Thor and the Avengers, and Hollywood ran it in the ground in the name of money.
Yeah, it all sort of depends with the vibe of your... Oh, excuse me. It depends what the vibe of the story you're going for. In something like Persona, right? Like, you know, just as a good example, you know, to get back to what we're looking at on screen, all these characters we're going after, they have, like, reasons they ended up with, like, their hearts distorted, but most of them are pretty fucking petty. You know? But you can understand how a person's brain would work that way, even though you're not going like, yeah, no, he's fine.
But it also depends on perspective, too, because
Yeah.
a villain may do what they think is right, but we may deem it as wrong. So it's like,
you would make it this far.
for example,
Commend you on your
my parents
vigorous
probably
efforts.
deem me as a villain
You will never
for
proceed to the
moving to
Magus
Wisconsin without saying goodbye to them,
From this moment forward,
and
the number of
to
coins for
not
the
really
bridge
talk
will
to them.
increase to 1 million
For
coins.
everybody knows, you know, like abusive issues, but they probably frame me as a villain for that. Whereas I framed them as a villain for the shit they did when I was a kid. So it also depends very much heavily on perspective.
Yeah, but, like, sometimes it really doesn't.
Sometimes it doesn't. For
Sometimes you're just Dio Brando and you just decided to be an asshole because. Sometimes you're just Bowser and you just want to get laid. Like, whatever.
sure. Speaking of spooky villains, did you hear about the Annabelle doll?
We had only just barely gotten
What the fuck are you talking? What?
The Annabelle doll.
What the fuck is Annabelle?
Cursed doll. Bad things happen around
She
that
said she
doll.
would let us through if we had
In
1
real
million
life.
coins, yes? In that case,
So the Annabelle
no
doll,
problem.
people decided to go bring her on tour.
You know how to win
The
that
first
many?
place she went
Not
to,
exactly.
that
Already,
town
the
had a
Wizard
plantation
coins right
burned
here.
to the ground.
Oh.
Like a historical plantation. Well, quote unquote real life, yeah. The Annabelle movie was based off of the inspiration of this doll because anytime it goes anywhere, something bad
We
happens.
could
Sure.
borrow as many coins from the casino as we already held on our card.
And she is on the schedule, I believe, to go to DC at some point, and that's all I'm
Had
gonna
we
say.
borrowed the max,
All right,
we
moving
had
swiftly the
10,000
fuck
coins,
along.
we ended up with 20,000.
You need to stop, like, skirting the lines of the whole no fucking politics rule. I'm just gonna duct tape your mouth shut when we do these streams. Like,
Yeah, you promise?
you know what? I thought of another game I'm dropping. It's called Pixelated Broadcast. It sucked. It was good for the first, like, you know, half of it, but, like, it fell the fuck off after 3 houses, honestly.
You're so mean.
Type of plot I always fell for is villain who someone faced with the same problem as the hero, but they folded and took a compromise because they didn't think saving things was possible. I don't think there's a spoiler for examples I can give, but, you know, it's like, hero, you fool, I had to oppress the people because otherwise huge eel under the Pacific Ocean would eat the world.
On Joker's
Right,
side.
yeah.
However, that is not the only
So yeah, Akechi has the million fucking coins we need.
Awesome.
She bumped up to 1,000,000 coins and he's just sort of... He's explaining it. He had another card.
The Taro Tanaka card I told you to get rid of.
Exactly. Instead
David,
of
that's
disposing
metaphor
of
in a
it,
nutshell.
I
It sure
secretly
fucking
used
is.
it to gather coins and
Yeah, it turns out when you
upgrade
actually
the
beat
system.
Huge Eel, the villain just didn't have the cojones for it. I love Chrono Trigger.
460,000 coins. That means we would have over 500,000.
Yay! You can do math!
So what? That's still clearly not close to the required total.
Actually, Once my count reached 460,000, I borrowed the maximum amount a second time. After paying back the original 10,000, I was left with 900.
Instead of punching a huge eel, it's reforming society.
Adding Joker's total to that brings us to 1,010,000 coins. We can surely cross the bridge now.
Wait, if we borrow all them coins...
Is there a problem? The manager's room lies ahead.
We're not actually
We
gonna
won't need
pay
to
it
worry
back,
about
stupid.
coins after this. Or did you honestly intend on paying back such a large sum?
Pertaining to that, my RPG final boss got undercut because I accidentally let a Gurren Lagann superfan on my party.
Impossible. This can't be.
Whoa. It's actually a little frightening how sharp you are.
I'll take that as a compliment. I'm glad I was able to contribute to our Phantom Thieves' efforts. Now, we should hurry and let the bridge down before she decides to change the rules once again.
David, did you see the newest death battle?
I always forget that death battle is still going.
The Bridge of Judgment!
I do like this visual. Like, one side of the scale just filling with fucking casino chips and then, like, letting it up. And then that. Yeah, almost there. We better be ready for whatever lies ahead. See, this dungeon's like, I don't think this dungeon is as long as the other one, but it feels longer because it's all broken up like this.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like this is her base of operations. Perhaps her treasure will appear
Those were
on
so
that
many achievers
pedestal.
at Doomslayer the other day. Wasn't that like the fucking like third one they did?
A
Or am I
lot
thinking
has
of someone
happened,
else?
but we managed to get up here. Miss Manager's days are numbered.
How uncouth of you to simply barge in here. Elegance is necessary for victory as well, you know. I entertained you with all of my games, but it appears you are still far from satisfied. Very well. I've made preparations especially for that possibility. This will be a game of life and death from now on. No matter who I face, I shall not lose.
Sis. Our infiltration route is secure. We need to head back out and send the calling card.
And once the calling card is sent, Sai-san's treasure will appear, correct?
Yeah. Once the target is cognizant of the danger, that cloudy thing will take shape.
I wonder, what will the treasure look like?
That depends on the person. For Kamoshida, it was a medal. Madarame's was a painting, and Kanashiro's was
I bet you it's
money.
gonna be a family picture of her and her sister.
Others was a plastic model.
Oh, I don't. I honestly, honest to God, I don't fucking remember what it was.
Beginning of the palace ruler's aspirations.
Could also be what caused their desires to swell.
Thinking about it won't get us anywhere, though.
Who gives a shit?
Let's
We
head
know
back
where
and
it'll
prepare
be.
the
We can
calling
look
card.
tomorrow. Who's up spinning they drill? It's fucking spinning on it, Gurren Lagann style. Yeah, that sounds about right. All right, well, we're ready. We're getting there anyway. Let's go. Let's get the fuck out of here. My drill will pierce God and I'll become a perfect being. Is that what that show's
Yeah.
about?
Something.
That's gonna be like a Brotherhood reference or something, I'm sure.
I still can't tell if Japan likes Christianity or not.
I think they like the idea of it, but not the actual belief of it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, they think it looks cool.
This
Yeah.
You wish to register a persona. Are you certain? You wish to register it to the compendium? Are you certain? There is one of my favorite. Begin searching.
Gathich.
I see. This is
All right,
certainly a
Testament.
powerful persona.
This is a tattoo I want to get. No, your drill pierces God, but you stay a human because that's the best thing to be.
Which tattoo?
Pretty strong.
I know you want to get a ton of them. I also am like dying to save up for a fucking chest piece. But I'm kind of like on the fence about getting more tattoos at the moment because
Because you're in the middle of your weight loss thing.
yeah, and I know I'm gonna have a lot of loose skin on like my tummy and my
This is
boobs, and
certainly
I
a
want a
powerful
tattoo
persona.
kind of over my boobs a little bit. So I think I'd just rather wait, make sure the tattoo doesn't get warped. And then I could
that's
also
fair.
tattoo on the scars too, like, because it would probably be like under my chest.
Yeah,
Because I love the tattoos that are like
Is this something you
your
need?
sternum and then like they kind of spread out like underneath your boobs. I love them and I don't know what they're called. And I'm sorry that's such a weird description, but that I don't know how else to better explain those kinds of
I
tattoos.
don't think anyone in our chat is complaining about thinking, like, having a mental image of boobs.
I see.
Well, I know, I'm just not trying to talk about my boobs.
None
Like,
of them-
I'm trying to not be a whore.
None
Like,
of,
I don't
none
know
of
what to tell
them,
you.
none of them know what your boobs look like. It's fine.
Obviously, but still.
Going to go to trial on a cult victim seeing the Prime Minister of Cyberpunk doohickey. What? In Fullmetal Alchemist, there's an image of a two-headed dragon over the sun, and Ed says it means I'll strike down God and become a perfect being. I kind of want it. Huh.
Nice. That is
You
a
see
banger.
Power beyond your limits.
I am out of money.
I definitely want a Last Unicorn tattoo. I want to get a chest piece. I want to get a Starian's dagger somewhere with Neil's signature.
I
That's on
see.
my thing.
This is certainly a powerful persona. Choose which skills to inherit.
I want to get the beta fish from JJK that represent Gato and Gojo around my ankle. Because I love the fish. I want a koi fish. I know everybody and their mom gets like a tattoo of a koi fish, but koi fish tattoos look fucking dope. Oh yeah, that one guy where shot Shinzo Abe, don't you remember? Because Abe was tight with the cult that made his mom ignore his family.
Huh.
I was actually sketching an idea earlier for when we were watching it earlier. Oh, you were? Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Choose which skills to inherit.
But I'm also really torn, honestly, because I know for a fact I want a Starian's Rhapsody dagger. I want that somewhere. But I also, that game I feel like has just like had such an impact on me. Like, I felt like a different person when I finished that game.
Expect to mock both of you to
So it's
work.
like, do I just want the dagger or do I want something actually entirely BG3 related?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I know I want the dagger, but then, like, should I have their faces behind it? Or should I have, like, the dagger with, like, Karlach's broken horn and, like, a bear paw print and,
I feel like just the dagger's probably fine, because then it's, like, subtle, you know?
Well, Astarian's story in particular really stuck out to me a lot, and I really related it to it a lot. And it just, I feel like Astarian's the new Medusa tattoo. I'm gonna be so fucking real with you. I do love Medusa, though. I do want to get a Medusa somewhere.
It's very rough because I'm not an artist. I mean, I'm sure you could just show most tattoo artists, like, if you took a screenshot on your phone
Yeah.
from, like, the show and showed them, like, the symbol, I'm sure they could fucking figure it out.
Yeah. And also, like, fuck it. As long as you're having fun. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, right, we have the
Into a
network
world
shit
different
now.
than this one. I see. This is certainly a pop. That's a pretty strong one. It is neither remarkable
Made some changes
nor
to- oh, fair
unremarkable.
enough.
Maybe Dust could Photoshop it for you.
Yeah, maybe, like, clean it up, like, if you
I
tell them,
see.
like, what it's trying to
This
look
is
like.
certainly a
Mm.
powerful
Like, what differences you're
persona.
trying to
That's
make.
a pretty strong one.
Instead of the sun, then it's the Yu-Gi-Oh symbol for divine beasts.
Oh, fuck yeah, actually.
That's awesome.
Okay, I'm with you. I'm with you so far.
Is that the one you were gonna get on the back of your hand? I don't remember.
You guys ever watch Golden Kamuy? There's a reason I'm bringing it up for no.
I see.
I've heard the name, but I don't really know what it is.
You wish to fuse an ally beyond your limits.
Choose which skills to inherit.
This should beget a be reborn.
And that's most next transmutation circle. That's I wanted the same place he carved into. Nah, of course. Alright. What horrible dog shit are we gonna get from this fusion accident? Hi, Cerberus.
I really don't like Cerberus's design. Like, he needs his
Because he's
other
not
heads.
anything. Because he's not even a dog.
Like, the
This is a fucking lion.
lion-y thing, I don't mind. It's just he doesn't look monster-y enough.
If you gave him like a lion mane, but he still had like a dog face, sure, right?
If she had 2 other heads, I wouldn't care.
Probably
It's an
gonna-
anime. Premise is a dude, a bunch of gold hidden, and tattooed the map to it on a bunch of escape prisoners' backs, and now a bunch of people are trying to hunt them down, and either copy them down, or for the villains and just kill them and skin them.
I see.
And I was also very torn as well between the Astarian dagger and/or the runes that Astarian has on his back. But I feel like the dagger is a little bit more of a sign of like him claiming his autonomy back.
So imagine getting part of the... Oh, yeah, fair. That'd be funny. No, I mean, if it was just me, I'd go with, like, the fucking dagger, because it's, like, subtle, and I know you want, like, a bunch of different tattoos, so, like, it would mix and match better with just whatever other random idea popped in your head.
Well, it's like, I also thought for a long time maybe I should get the runes, like, as a part of my chest piece, like, on the center where my sternum is.
No, sure, yeah.
But,
Like, incorporate it with some other stuff.
Yeah, because I want stuff up on my collarbones, down my sternum, and then kind of around. So, I don't know.
I gotta be real. If I take your shirt off and I see Astarian's face, I'm killing myself. I'm throwing that out there. Like, I am blowing...
face.
I'm blowing my brains out. Like,
I don't want his face.
I'm, like, it's done. Like, I'm gone.
Damn. That's what it takes?
Yes. Abso-fucking-lutely it is, yes.
Wow. Here's mad Astarian could live in my boobs 24/7.
No.
Alright. I guess that's fine.
I'm kidding.
Okay. Alright, which one? How's that?
I loosely based the dragon on Beelzeus.
Oh, okay, sure, yeah, on Beals. Actual nightmare scenario, yeah, trying to have intimate time with your wife and you just remind of that. Yeah, exactly. It's over. Like, I'm gone.
You like it?
Like, I'm running into the basement and I'm drinking all the fucking laundry soap.
Drinking it, it's powder.
We have liquid. Well, fine, I'm drinking all the sanitizer if you want me to be super fucking accurate. You want my fucking suicide to be like, super nitpicky.
Yeah. Get it right. Get your facts straight.
This is why I'm drinking the laundry sanitizer.
Oh, bless you.
Alright, sounds good. You better not use it to pull a prank.
All jokes aside, though, I definitely want to get, like, the dagger, probably a bear paw print.
You better not use it to pull a prank. Come again.
Laundry time. Why the oh, it's Halloween. Jesus fuck, okay.
The other tattoo I want is Akiza's signer mark.
Akiza's signer mark.
Akiza's signer mark? What the fuck is that from?
Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds.
Oh, okay.
I am almost certain we've shown you Akiza. She's the fucking redhead that Titan's obsessed with.
Yes. Yes.
Hi.
Which one did Akiza have? Like, what part of the dragon did Akiza have for her mark?
Yo.
The EYE symbol is cool for me, but I worry just be read as like the Illuminati period or something?
Oh.
Either claw or foot.
Okay, sure. Yeah, see, that would... I feel like you would need the EYE on it. Like, to make it, like, super clear what the fuck you're doing. And at that point, depending on how big you wanted it and where you wanted it, it wouldn't read right.
I also want a really random tattoo of, like, either a frog sitting on a mushroom, smoking a pipe, or a possum.
Why would he be smoking a possum?
Smoking a pipe.
No, but you said a pipe or a possum.
No, I meant to say, okay, either a frog or
I
a
know,
possum
I'm fucking with you.
sitting on a mushroom, wearing a cowboy hat,
Oh my god.
smoking a pipe. I don't know why, but I've wanted that since I was 18. I also was supposed to get a sushi roll on my butt cheek with my bestie, and I never did that before we moved. We were supposed to get cute little kawaii sushis.
So, something I haven't been able to show off yet.
I see.
What the fuck was that?
The water. We can go to the jazz club Akechi invited us to. You remember that? Team members you invite to the jazz club will have their persona strengthened, as well as receiving other helpful effects. These effects differ depending on the day of the week you visit. If it is a jazz club on a day when a live singer performs, a special cocktail will be served. Also, the effects of the cocktail will be doubled if it's a weekday. Drinking during the week. That's me. Let's go.
Hey.
Who do we want to hang out with? Let's hang out with fucking Makoto. She probably needs a drink before we go deal with her sister.
Yeah.
Oh.
Hey.
Mr. Worldwide.
Oh my god.
He literally looks like Pitbull.
Thanks for coming.
Yeah, no, we we get the non-alcoholic stuff.
The other EYE option is the 3 gate symbols, but those are a triangle, archway, and eye, but overlaid they are, as they are, it looks stupid fucking Deathly Hallows Pyramid from goddamn Harry Potter. Blech.
See, like, I like the idea of tattoos,
The string.
but, like, I feel like my indecisive ass would end up hating it after, like, a month.
I always sit on a tattoo idea for at least a year, if not longer. So it's like, and I know everybody's gonna make fun of me. I don't fucking care. I want to get
I feel a little more mature.
another little dragon for Dragon Silas
This is great.
on my leg with Haku. So I have my top dragon part of my leg and the lower part of my leg
All right.
be Dragon Silas.
Thank you.
But I'm waiting.
All right.
What, you want to see if this hyperfixation dissipates
Yeah.
before you do that?
I either
That's
want
fair.
I either want Dragon Silas or I want Mephisto.
Mhm.
Who Mephisto is
He's just a
Silas's-
crow, so you like.
He's not just a crow. He's a mechanical crow.
Right, but he just looks like a crow. Is my point. You
He's
just get
a crow with red eyes and cool fucking cyborg pieces. I love Mephisto. He is spooky.
The things I still would like to, but I need something that really fucking clicks with me. Yeah, that's fair. If I had the money for it, I'd get a full sleeve, just Slife with a Sky Dragon going up my arm. That would cost so much goddamn money.
You would be surprised because arm sleeves are cheaper than leg sleeves in New Hampshire.
Because your arms are
sleeves-
smaller, probably.
You know.
Well, that's easier to work with because your legs have, like, you have, like, a thigh and your calf, which is way more curved. Whereas your arm, it's relatively straight and cylindrical the entire way around. I know where I went in New Hampshire. I went to a very, very, very expensive tattoo place because I really trust the artists there and I would rather pay more for something I know is going to be on my body forever. I have a mandala around my right shoulder with a Triforce in the middle. That was $400, I think. And then I got a matching tattoo with my mom, but it was my dad's first deer that he ever got. It was a spike horn, so I got his deer skull tattooed with like a lit candle on his head. There's a pentacle on the middle of his forehead, which I added. And I added the candle with the smoke so it blended more into my upper part of my tattoo. And then it also pomegranates because Hades.
Because, yeah, no shit.
And it's interesting because when I got this tattoo with my mom, I knew eventually I would not be at a point of contact. And I actually do not regret this tattoo. I really like this tattoo because it's like,
Sai-san is a realist, even if
it's
she
kind of
believes
in a
the
way,
phantom
like,
thieves
I always
exist,
wanted a
or
deer
there is a
skull
chance
with
she
pomegranates.
suspects that she
So I
herself
worked a
will be
tattoo I
targeted.
really liked. But also just the fact of like, oh, the very few good memories I have in this tattoo of my mom and dad,
I only say that theoretically.
you know?
but I believe so.
And it's like my idea of them lives on me.
It would
It's
be
not who
prudent
they
for
are.
us to wait until we're
Right.
driven into a corner to act. If we do so with no time to spare, I assume even Sai-san would have to be somewhat agitated.
Last one I got floating around was a coin and a sheath katana. I mean, that'd be kind of sick.
Ensuring the treasure actually appears. That sounds quite logical. Impressive, Akechi-kun. Though it is a bit vexing that you know more about my sister than I do.
Oh.
That's only because of my work as a detective. Well then, if our time limit is November 20th, and we act the day
Thanksgiving.
after sending the calling card, shall we send it out on the 18th?
We should prepare as much as we can.
So we're gonna do it a little differly. We're gonna wait until the last second.
Well,
Okay.
I can't complain about having more
2
time.
references with 1 coin.
Make
Kind of
sure you're ready,
insane,
everyone.
actually.
Mm.
Well, here's the thing, because a lot of people think, oh, a tattoo really needs to mean something. I disagree. I have a tattoo on my right forearm on the inside of it. And it is a grumpy looking cat with a cat hood, and then right in between the ears is an eyeball. Now, I got this out of a Halloween gumball machine for a tattoo. It was $50 fucking dollars. It was the best $50 I've ever spent, and it's huge. It's like as bigger than my palm.
Let's go.
And it's an old vintage illustration from an Alice in Wonderland book, but instead of the eyeball, there was a heart, but I asked them to change it to an eye.
Mm-hmm.
Because I have eyeballs on my Luna moth near it, and I just like eyeballs. And that's my witchy arm. So, I mean, I feel like some people get really, especially people who don't have tattoos, get really hung up on, like, this tattoo has to have meaning. Sometimes you can just get something silly and goofy because it makes you happy. You know, think about it. Don't get, like, a fucking meme on your arm, because, yeah, that would be silly and goofy in the moment, but then once it stops trending, you're gonna fucking look dumb. You know what I mean? But,
Yeah.
like, if it genuinely, if you really enjoy something, like, just fucking do it, you know? It's like, if you have liked it your entire life, most likely it's not gonna change. And even if it does, you know, it's like, you just might like it in a different way. But I also really like tattoos for just, like, I feel like they help my self-esteem a lot, as silly as that sounds. I feel like
Yeah.
I feel like I'm decorating the inside of like a white apartment, if that makes sense.
I don't think there's anything silly about that. Oh, that's like the point.
But also, it's like, I had a lot of scars on the shoulder that I got tattooed because, as you know, Jameson, I have a horrible habit of just picking at my skin when I'm really anxious to the point where I'll bleed.
Mm-hmm.
So I had a lot of scars over there. And I have a lot of scars on my other shoulder too, but it's not, I want to get that shoulder covered too. But, it helps too, because then I don't want to pick it because I don't want to ruin my tattoo.
Yeah.
Definitely not as bad as it used to be though.
No, like,
You're back.
I don't know. I like the idea of like tattoos and shit, but I feel like I would like the idea, and then I would be like, it's boring now, you know. And I mean, I've had a few ideas like randomly pop in my head, like if I, you know, like if for whatever reason I absolutely had to get one, right? Like not a choice, like you're getting one. But, you know, I've had a lot of like nerd ideas, you know, like Pokemon badges on like my wrist or something, or like something with like Rayquaza or something.
Rayquaza all the way up your arm. Oh my god, that would be sick.
Yeah, it would be too much. I also don't know if I don't really know what the rules are with like my new job about shit like that, to be honest.
I mean, as long as it's not on your forehead, most places don't really care, because like you can cover it up. Worst case, I work at a hospital with Medicaid, Medicare. They don't care about my tattoos as long as there's no tits.
Yeah, but most of yours are like
What do you want to do?
not, you know, like visible when you're like not naked. The one idea I had though, that I know is not like an original idea, at least I'm certain of it, but in Japanese culture, a thing that they do when like you break like a vase or something is when you fix it with gold. So that way it like still looks nice. It's supposed to be like some symbolic bullshit. I thought about getting like gold, like if I got one, it'd be kind of cool to get like gold cracks on like my bad shoulder.
Yeah. That would be sick.
Like that would look cool as fuck, but I also am like, I don't think I have the desire or money to fucking give enough of a fuck. But like it's a cool idea that I thought of. Like,
Yeah.
you know, but I'm sure a million people have done
I'd have to be like a coloring book for that. I'd just be all gold.
that. Shut up, you're fine.
I'm half joking.
You should actually do the gold. You think so?
Yeah, I think that is honestly fucking sick. I think also they have really cool tattoo ink. Some of it will glow under a dark light, or you can choose like more glittery looking ones.
That we need.
I also...
I've never heard that before. Really?
Oh, dude, I love that.
Pretty neat. Huh.
I also see tattoo artists doing cross-stitch tattoos. So they literally do cross-stitch on you,
Mm-hmm.
but in ink, and it looks so cool, and I just love the look of cross-stitch. I think that'd be really cool. But yeah, I honestly think that gold one, especially if you outlined the gold in black so it's easier to see,
Right.
I think that looks so fucking awesome.
Guts, persuasion.
If I ever recover from serious injury, I'm stealing that as a matter of fact. In 5 years, you can copy strike my knee after I blew it out lunging like a dumbass.
Fuck it, dude. I mean, it would look cool. Like, I just don't, I don't know. I just don't think I'm a tattoo guy. I should come up with something for the scar from the heart surgery I had when I was a baby. Make it one of those ones where, like... You ever see those tattoos where, like, they make it look like... I'm thinking, like, it's ripping apart fabric and, like, there's, like, the Superman symbol under it or something.
Yep.
Just have it be just, like, a gaping fucking hole where your heart was.
Yeah.
Just, like, just rip the fuck to shit. Like, they took my... they stole it.
Please take your time.
You could put, like, little nail heads or screw heads. If there's, like, scar... I don't know how much scarring there is.
Permit lines? Well, the fuck's a permit line? Am I stupid?
Mm.
How do I increase my kindness? Beef.
It's the space... Oh, yeah, it's the space cancer form from my, Witch from Mercury.
Okay.
I forgot about that. I was like, I recognize that. Why do I recognize that?
Fine, fuck it. Jazz time.
I know they always said to never tattoo people's names or whatever. I don't think I'd ever tattoo your name, but if...
Wow.
I would... Well, let me finish. I don't think I'd ever tattoo a name, but I think I would tattoo a little Rayquaza for you somewhere.
It's like so much lamer.
Put it on my butt cheek or something. I don't know.
No.
Why not?
What do you want to do?
Part of the mech that starts flaring up when they go sicko mode. Yeah, depending on the output level, it goes blue, red, white, then gay.
Then gay. Okay, sure.
Oh, my heart beats true for the red, white, and gay.
Hey.
Anyway.
Thanks for coming in.
What?
I don't know. I got a little patriotic there.
You know, I don't know. I think my desire to decorate shit gets channeled into my want to, like, have, like, the game room be set up a certain way. You know, because then I can switch it around when I get bored. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All right.
The Asquaza goes crazy, by the way.
Why wouldn't you just get on like your other legs? So then at least you'd have two dragons on two
Because
legs.
then I'd already have Dragon Silas.
Fuck off! He's not real! I'm your husband!
Listen, I love Silas. He's great. No, but in all seriousness, for you, I would definitely get something tattooed. I've always wanted to, like, go with a gaggle of my friends and get, like, this tiny random fucking tattoo. I'm looking at Titan and Roy and maybe Miss Hole. I don't fucking know. Anybody who'd want to do that, I would totally be down. Listen, we could all get stupid penguins or something.
Hey.
What is wrong with you? Oh, we have a target mementos. We should be able to do that. I don't remember what the target of mementos is, but we can do it. To the hideout. At least then we'll be playing the video game.
Everyone's here. Hey.
I'm angry. I'm getting hungry. The fuck, man? I wasn't hungry all day, and now I'm doing something, and now I'm hungry. Rip.
Oh yeah, right. It was like the hobos killing people.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Right. Well, away we go then.
Yes. Let's do our
And give us
best.
some chance to grind out more money anyhow. Oh, there's more.
The squiggle zones.
More Mentos. Nobility must still be on the rise of it because of their currently bad reputation. So I guess celebrity gets more famous because of scandals. I like the sound of that. Either way, the further we go, the more powerful enemies we'll meet. Blah 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 blah. Let's go.
Well then.
I'd either get a Rayquaza for you, or I'd get your profile picture you've had for a billion years of Peridot sitting in a toilet.
For the love of God, do not do that. That is such a bad idea. Don't do that.
Why?
Because that's stupid, frankly. Don't do that.
It's so funny because when I got Haku, so if you don't know what Haku is from Spirited Away, first of all, fucking get some standards.
I'm certain everyone in our chat has seen Spirited Away.
Second of all, he is a white and teal dragon, okay? And the thing about skin color is white usually doesn't show up on people, but the tattoo artist was able to give me white with a little bit of teal, and I'm so fucking white, it still looks white on my skin. He literally just mixed in a little bit of, like, a couple of colors to, like, pretty much cancel out any weirdness, and he made it look white. And it's still pretty bright. Fucking incredible.
My skills exceed yours.
Let's do this. This one. Go. Power up.
No, well, saves me a turn.
Let's go.
Beans. He's snoozing. What the fuck? There's a little site-wide drop event where you buy 2 subs on eligible streamers, which I think everyone... We're included? Shit.
Well, you heard the man. Where's
Well,
him?
1 month of Crunchyroll.
Well, hey, if you guys want to watch Spirited Away, all you gotta do is fucking, buy a few subs, apparently.
Yeah, buy 2 subs. Get that Crunchyroll.
I literally don't know if Spirited Away is on Crunchyroll. I might be false advertising.
I'm pretty sure it's on HBO Max.
Fuck me.
Too bad, I already have Crunchyroll.
but-
Do it because I'm watching Brotherhood with you.
It would be free.
I'm just kidding. I'm kidding, I'm kidding.
I'm not giving money.
Jameson Shop. I didn't even know that was a thing. 90% of Ghibli isn't on Crunchy on Fort. Yeah.
Fort.
It's like weird because if you VPN with Netflix, it's in every other country on Netflix.
Weird.
Yep.
I remember hearing that. Is that still true?
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
I already got my anime covered by legal reasons. The rest of this message has been
Censored.
obfuscated.
Obfuscated? I actually don't know how to say it.
That one's really tripping me up. I'm sorry.
Obfuscated. Obfuscated.
Obfuscated. Fuck! Why is it doing that?
US and Japan, it's US and Japan where they're not on Netflix? What the fuck?
Don't be ridiculous.
I kind of get them not... Well, I was gonna say I kind of get them not being around in America, but, like... Ghibli's pretty fucking popular over here.
For good reason.
Yeah. I gotta fucking... At some point, even though it's not a game I'm, like, mega into as, like, a game, I do need to stream Ni no Kuni at some point, because I know you would just enjoy experiencing it.
Mm.
But it's also one of those things, it's not like Mario where I'm like, you should just play it blind and I'll help you, because, like, I think, I don't know if you would even like it, like, gameplay-wise.
That's the one with nose pass, right?
What?
The big nose man?
Mr. Drippy? Yes.
Nose pass.
Oh my god.
What?
Be nice to him.
No. As if Mr. Drippy is any better than Nose Pass.
That's the name his fucking mother gave him. I don't know.
Well, his mother didn't fucking love him, apparently.
He had to go inside his mother at one point.
What?
You know, like Magic School Bus?
No. Ah!
I think, if I remember correctly, I think you're helping get, like, the baby fairies out or something.
What?
Ni no Kuni's a wild fucking game. Hey, it's that bitch who reflects physical. And that bitch who's weak to physical.
Ah, it's that one statue in Animal Crossing.
Wait just a second. Oh, what a shocker.
I had a coffee, but now I want an energy drink.
I don't know if that's a good idea. No, that's weird. Like, in the U.S., the whole U.S. Ghibli thing, I can only imagine it's like... They, like, asked for, like, a shit ton of money or something.
You want to... I bet you it has to do because Disney did the dubs, and Disney wants everything that their grimy little paws can get on.
Does Disney still do the dubs, though? Like,
Yes.
for the old shit, sure.
Yes. Disney, there's, like, a department at Disney that is specifically just for, like, Ghibli dubbing.
Yeah, it was probably Disney's fault somehow. I mean, I could buy that, sure. Does Disney own HBO Max? Because I was gonna say, why wouldn't they just end up on Disney then? Like, on Disney Plus?
I don't fucking know.
Because if they own it, then sure. But, like, I feel like if that was the case, then it would just end up on Disney Plus.
Mm.
Like, that or nowhere, you know? Dude, streaming's gotten to a point where, like, genuinely, and I was telling Sam about it, like, I'm considering just, like... Because I'm trying to make, like, a chill space down here in, like, the basement. Like, a, you know, a TV and, like, a couch and shit like that, as I, you know, get paid more. Like, it's hitting a point where, honest to God, I'm thinking, like, of just buying, like, a Blu-ray player and just fucking... Or, like, a DVD player or whatever, and just going back to collecting physical... Well, I say going back, I never really did. But, you know, collecting physical fucking media. Because, like... You know, take the money, I guess. Streaming just kind of sucks, like, honestly. Like, not, you know, you gotta fucking shift through, like, 8 different services to figure out what's where, and then, like, then you'll sometimes end up with bullshit where some of it's on one and some of it's on the other. Like, God forbid you're stupid enough to still be a fan of, like, South Park. Like...
Well, it's like all the movies I like are like really old 80s movies. So it's like The Last Unicorn, Legend, fucking Ghostbusters.
Right.
Like
The shit that,
Dark
like, you
Crystal.
got the shit you got Netflix for back in the day.
Yeah,
Like,
and it's like now it moves all the time, but it's like we'd probably have to make a CD or a DVD somehow.
like burn one.
Yeah. I'm kind of impressed how far I've gotten
Oh.
despite just having decent ad blocker and trawling through working URLs for naughty sites.
I mean, yeah, once you know what you're looking for, it's easy, but, like, you know, the issue with that is sometimes then the websites get taken down too and shit, and it's like, you know, sometimes just too much of a pain in the ass to deal with. It's really the same problem cable had. It's gonna collapse eventually. Yeah, but how long is that gonna fucking take? Like, ugh.
That takes care of that. Let's
Your
move.
power's incredible, Joker.
Okay.
No, if you don't mind trolling through the internet, and trust me, I've done it, but, like, sometimes it's just too much of a pain in the ass. sense. And like when I watch it with Salem, they like having subtitles, and a lot of those websites don't have subtitles. So like,
It doesn't need to have subtitles. It's just sometimes I mishear shit.
I know.
And
I want
like
you
to
to
read it to make sure I hear it right because
I want you to enjoy what we're
process
watching.
things funny sometimes.
We gotta get Crunchyroll back now that I've got, you know, the whole income thing again, so we can go back to watching Dragon Ball.
I also need to. I have like a whole backlog of anime I need to watch. I need to watch Eva or Evangelion.
Yeah, we gotta wait for Missile
rebuilds
though.
with Missile. I need to watch. I know Titan wanted to show me Star Trek and Spice and Wolf. I want to see those.
I thought I already watched Spice and Wolf.
I started watching Spice and Wolf at work, but then she got naked like 3 times, and then I was like, okay, I can't watch this at work.
Yeah, I don't hate subtitles. I just don't. Yeah. If it was just me, I'll watch it without them unless, like, for some reason I can barely fucking, like, hear it, you know?
I'm not complaining. She can do it as much as she wants. I just couldn't watch it at work.
No shit, you can't watch Spice and Fork at Wolf? What the fuck?
What? I don't know. Titan said it was fine. I trusted Titan. Maybe that was a mistake. I
What
don't
kind
know.
of fucking idiot are you? Why are you trusting Titan?
I did. Titan.
Titan, you're a moron.
To be fair, it wasn't like she was like spread eagle or anything. It was like the whole I'm a goddess just turned into a human and I don't understand how clothes work.
Was it like conveniently her hair was covering her tits? Like
Yeah.
that kind of. Okay.
And I mean, like, I'll be so real. When I was watching my shit, I would always watch it in the room that didn't have a camera, so it didn't really matter. I just didn't feel comfortable with it at work.
Didn't really matter.
And like, dude, some of the shit the subs would watch at work was fucking insane. It would be like murder documentaries about like rape.
I'm not gonna lie to you.
And
I'm not gonna lie to you.
murder.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I probably wouldn't have watched Jujutsu Kaisen at work like you did, just because I feel like if someone caught me watching it at work, I wouldn't be able to accurately explain what the fuck is going on in a way that didn't make me sound crazy.
A lot of people watch JJK in Young House.
Watching Golden Kamuy has been bugging me for that because characters speaking, don't translate those in English dub. I got briefly to see what they said. Huh.
Yeah.
I wouldn't watch 90s. Well, yeah, because you can't trust anime. We've had this conversation. Like, we're used to anime weird shit, but like normal people aren't.
Yeah, but you forgot that I worked at Young House and literally everybody there watched anime.
That's
There
fine.
were times that me and Bobby just like hung out and watched anime.
You literally don't
And
know.
me and Emily would just hang out and watch
Yeah.
anime, and then we'd watch Murder Docs, and then we'd watch Jacksepticeye and Markiplier.
It's a new version of Spice and Wolf. You literally don't know what's gonna switch to wild shit. No, never. Like, even like normal shit that that you would think is just fine. Like Dragon Ball. You couldn't watch that at work. Goku pulls his weird little dick out way too often to be watching that in public. Like, the amount of shots of Goku just like pissing on a tree is like way too many. Never seen the original adaptation. I just saw Wolf Girl. Yeah, you saw Wolf Girl and you fucking like your flea fucking start acting up. Like, you know, you gotta get the tick bath ready. You're weird.
There's the platform.
Bing.
I gotta watch the last season of Fairy Tail. I've watched everything up to Fairy Tail 0, and I've went way too far to fucking not finish it.
We saw last night you can't count watching JoJo in public. I think, yeah, no, you definitely passed the fuck out because you were like dead quiet the whole time. I feel like you could get away. No, I know you did. I'm sad I missed it. Not because of Alessi, because I want to hear Titan fucking scream.
JoJo's mostly fine until Polnareff gets turned into a kid and pulls his kid dick out, or
Yeah.
when he's shitting in the pig toilet.
To be fair, you don't see his ass, like, ready to deliver nutrients to the pig. Like,
Jameson, that was awful. Titan was unhappy.
to be fair, but I distinctly remember when we were watching it, Josh, you were also very unhappy.
I don't know, the orangutan upset me.
The orangutan's wild.
Like, there's no reason to make him like that.
It's wild because the orangutan happens, and then it's, like, kind of normal shit for so long, and then, like... Well, here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. Here's at least, like, the difference with something like JoJo. Alessi is supposed to be fucking creepy. Like, it's supposed to be weird. But so many anime that are normal will randomly just be like, hey, guess what? Guess what? titties, and it's like, oh,
Well, it's like
Like-
when I was working at Young House, someone was trying to get me into Don Don Don, but
No!
literally the first
Let's
episode
not!
of that is literally about assaulting someone. I'm like, I can't do that.
yeah, no, I've heard it's good. I don't think I could sit through it based on what I understand about the first chunk of it. I'm not saying
Yeah.
it's good or bad. I cannot say if it's good or bad. It's probably fucking amazing. But, like, I don't think I could get through it.
It depends on how much is shown. and heard.
Cough Fire Force? Remember I said, yeah, Social Security is long but all cool fights, so I wouldn't cut out many of them. I rescinding that statement. I would change Alessi's. Still have Alessi, like, hit, like, Polnareff or something. Take out the bits with, like, his wiener or whatever. But then just do what fucking...
I literally can't deal with Don Don. Yeah.
No, yeah, fair, yeah. Like, do what the fighting game did and have him hit old Joseph, and then we get part 2 Joseph, like, just curb stomp him, because that'd be sick. You know? Like, Alessi's power could let you do, like, something cool. The orangutan is just fucking, I don't know. Nappa was a monkey. No, like, I didn't even try to watch Don Don Don, but, like, I heard about it, and then I was like, I don't think I could watch this.
Seeing part 2 Joseph would have been a cool callback.
Yeah.
A part where he turns the woman into a fetus makes me viscerally uncomfortable. It's like just below the line of I'm closing out of it.
Yeah. But, like, that's, like, 100% the point, right? Like, because that's insane. That's insane. Pretty sure I told you, like, right after it came out because I watched it day 1 and couldn't finish the episode. Probably, yeah. Probably. I made ice cream. What the fuck are we talking about? We're talking about when anime gets just insanely weird and uncomfortable out of, like, nowhere, and why you can't trust anime in public because you never know when it's about to hit you. Somehow it reminds me of those propaganda videos anti-abortion people make. I mean, yeah, because, like, it's the same shit. It's, like, a fetus, like, dying in, like, on, like, a floor in, like, an apartment building. Like...
Even though that's not remotely...
No, of course not, but that's why it's propaganda. There's an episode or 2 of Angie that does that, sadly. I'm trying to think if there's anything in, like, shows I've watched that, like, completely blindsided me.
There was a
Wait,
thing-
I can think of one. Sorry, you go?
There was one in Fairy Tale where it was like
just realized
Lucy
I
was
should
in a
have known that one.
bathtub and then it got real creepy for no reason.
Oh, yeah,
I don't remember what happened.
Oh, wow, the one time they were creepy with Lucy? Wow, that really narrows it down.
Yeah. Or it's like 7 Deadly Sins. I love 7 Deadly Sins, but I really hate how they just keep groping Elizabeth and like she's acting fine with it.
I remember I saw someone on Reddit describe, they said their preferred way to refer to 7 Deadly Sins is Escanor and his 6 awful pedophile friends.
Yeah.
Um,
Meliodas is really funny though because he kind of reminds me of you.
Don't ever fucking say that to me again.
I just meant with like the boob.
Don't ever.
thing.
Very, very end of episodes, everything else is fine, and if even Guy's fine about that is really, really fucking sad. No, you know what I was gonna think of? The where I was like really blindsided by an anime getting weird on me for no reason. You remember like the end of Shibuya where it just smash cuts to Mei just laying naked with like her 5-year-old brother in a hotel room somewhere, and like
Yeah.
there's definitely creepy shit happening for no reason.
Yeah.
What the fuck was up with that?
Yeah.
Like that was insanely weird. And like up to that point, I was like, okay, this character kind of fucked. She's funny. Like her powers kind of sick. She's a giant axe. She's just a greedy bitch and like doesn't apologize about it. That's cool. What is she doing with her brother?
It gets worse.
Yeah, if you ignore the kid, Mei-Mei's cool, but like, that's a tall ass to ignore the
Or,
fucking kid.
you know, in fucking Black Butler with that scene with CL, like,
register.
getting forcibly cross-dressed and then...
Salem, that doesn't narrow it down.
Well, I was talking. I wasn't done.
Go on.
Where he was forcibly cross-dressed and, like, it's like they tightened a corset or something and made it, like, weirdly sexual and in a cage.
The joke is like, you think, like Sebastian's giving him back shots or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, she's a tall ass girl. Oh my god. Oh, that caught me so fucking off guard. Whoo.
Like, there was no reason for that, like, at all. But I will say, on the opposite side, I thought it was fucking hilarious when Sebastian pounded
When he
that
rails the
fucking
maid,
maid
yeah.
in that barn or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, just to get information. Like, I thought that was kind of fucking goated and really funny.
Kinda goated.
Like, because she was obviously in on it. Like,
Yeah, he didn't, like, attack a woman.
Yeah.
Like... I did love when Alessia got wrecked by Kid Jotaro. That part was good. Anyways, watch Bocchi the Rock. It's amazing, and you can watch it in public. Hold on, I need to alt-tab so I can read some chat here. I wish the Dragon Maid anime wasn't the worst. Yeah. Here's the thing, and it's pretty icy take. My issue with anime is not simply that creepy stuff happens. The difference between JoJo and most anime is the villain is creepy, but Star Platinum domes their head in, versus we need some comedy, time for an MC to trip and fall to a face full of boobs. Yeah, because that's the thing, right? Like the super juvenile haha titty comedy can be funny.
it can be. It's just not done correctly in anime.
There's such a fine line between that and like, wow, like we're just harassing a woman.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
It's like, I really liked the premise of Seven Deadly Sins. I really liked the idea of it. But it is so creepy.
Right.
With, like, Meliodas, like, constantly, like, I'm getting her panties. I'm touching her boobs. Guess what? I'm touching her boobs again. And then Bon falls in love with a minor fairy. Like, what the fuck? I had to stop watching. But,
Yeah. Like,
the boob falls are cringy, but mostly harmless unless the character is a kid.
well, that's the weird thing, right? Because in the mind of the people writing it, it's like the reason they get away with it because it's a kid and like the kid's innocent, right? Like that's supposed to be the joke.
But it's like, you can have inappropriate jokes, not at the sake of another person's bodily autonomy, if that makes sense. So it's like Fruits Basket's a great example. There's a part where Haru, he's the ox spirit. There's a guy at like a school officer bitching at him for his hair color because it's black and white, and he's like, you can't do that, and he's like, it's natural.
You need to prove it's natural.
No, hold on. Let me explain it. And he's like, it's not natural, you need to change it. He's like, it is natural and I'll prove it. He's like, okay, and then he drags him to the bathroom and the officer leaves mortified, and he's like, okay, that is natural. I will never ask him about this again. That's hilarious. That is funny. Like,
No, same makes scares kids for no reason. That's weird. Yeah. What the fuck was I about to say?
yeah.
Heavy ice damage.
I don't know. I think inappropriate humor, because I think inappropriate humor is funny most of the time because I have the brain space of a 12-year-old. But I think it can be done correctly, but most of the time it's way overdone and it's not done with the right audience, and it's not done with the right characters either. Like, it's always like the character who was like a victim at one point, and it's just in bad taste. You know what I mean?
I love
like,
Persona 5.
Listen, I love Persona 5, but it's like, please. Like, give her a break. Why can't MHA just be college?
Yeah, no, like, My Hero 100% should be set in a college.
Yeah.
It would also make the writing easier, because then you could, explain why they're actually fighting villains instead of, like, trying to dance around. You shouldn't be fighting villains, but now the villains are here. It's time to fight the villains. Like... Sure.
Why can't MHA... Why does MHA have abuse apology?
Why can't MHA be good? Like...
Why can't I get more Aizawa content?
Okay.
I love him. He's great.
Stores 5% max HP and HP during an ambush. No, fuck that. Yeah, I don't need that.
Choose wisely.
This is why I like Spy X Family. This is very true. Yor and Lloyd...
Don't say it. Keep it to yourself. Don't say it.
Is this something
I'm convulsing.
Shut the fuck. Shut up. Why are you like this?
No, but they also do a really good job with, like, some of those jokes, because they're married, but then they, like, can't even look at each other. Like, it's such a good trope. I love it. Yor and Lloyd are adults in the show is normal about Anya. Yeah. Salem, I don't want horny shit in my anime. Also, Salem, awooga, show me the men.
There's a difference,
I never
though.
said I don't want horny shit in my
There's a
anime.
difference.
I said I don't want horny shit with, like, minors or creepy in anime.
Salem said they don't want it to be creepy. You can be horny and not be creepy.
Yep. You can just be straightforward with it.
Alright, fair. You'd have thought Ruby would have immunized everyone against Showa's cool premise that Peeling cares and fumbles the bag down and out, but no, it gets people every time. Well, because the problem is... I want horny shit, I just want them to be adults. Yeah. Because the problem is, right?
Or I just want, like, a random anime like Sergeant Frog. It's, like, just brain rotting about alien frogs, you know?
Yeah,
I don't...
Because the thing is, right, here's the thing. I don't want either. That's also completely fair. Like, here's the problem. And they made it 20 about growing with age, you'll be hype. Yeah, watch Panty and Stocking. Actually, maybe don't. I've never seen it. The issue is, with the whole, like, oh, it gets people every time, like, it fumbles the bag. I think the issue is, you watch the first, like, 2-3 seasons, even, of an anime. And it's so good, and you're like, fuck me, it's so good, I love it. Finally, we have, like, the good fucking show, whatever. But then, when it fumbles, you're like, just don't want to admit it. You're like, no, it's fine, it'll be back up on the upswing, and then a good amount of the time it doesn't. Sometimes it does. Sometimes it hits the upswing again, but, like, you're like, oh, man. I don't want to believe that this is bad.
I need to introduce you to Sergeant Frog. I think
How about Sergeant Frog?
You have?
Oh, yeah.
Get up. Get up. I used to love Sergeant Frog. Sorry, I just, like, went off for a second.
You're good. No, it's cancel after 2 usually, yeah. Not
Kill
talking
la
about
Kill
anime
is sick.
specifically. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Kill la Kill is sick, but they only got the second half of the equation. They have the agency, but they're like 17. We can do better. But also, if they're adults, like, stop raping them, please.
Well, the thing is,
like,
too, like, there's room for a story about a minor regaining that kind of agency, because unfortunately, bad shit just happens to people sometimes, you know?
Yep.
Like, but, like, the thing is, you need to, you know, be really respectful about it, and then, like, sometimes you're not. Sorry, let me see what the fuck Josh said earlier, so I can fucking... Recommend Penny and Stocking as if you're down bad for Gotham as I am. Fair enough. Penny and Stocking, Jameson. Yes. So Jameson, yes. That's why shows get canceled after 3 seasons usually. And nowadays they get canceled. Yeah, no, a lot of shows just don't last long enough. A lot of shows don't last long enough, unfortunately.
Power requires sacrifice. That will do.
They don't last because they see the same trend you're talking about.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I love and hate anime because it is very tropey. But it's like, I feel like some animes lean into the bad tropes.
Well, that's the thing, right? There's no such thing... Oh, Charlie, that's really sick. There's no such thing as a bad trope. Tropes are just tools that you use to build a story. Like, a trope is just there... I guess we're going to check that one out. Tropes are tools. That is the thing. There's no such thing as a good trope. There's no such thing as a bad trope. Any example of a good trope you can think of, I could give you an example of it being done incredibly poorly, and vice versa. Maybe not off the top of my head, but I could go find it. You know what I mean? The problem is, like Josh is saying, it's bad execution, and bad execution is, it's really easy to write something terribly. The problem is just... sometimes people think this is a good idea and it isn't. Or sometimes just people are like, whatever, no one's gonna care, but then it kind of ruins the show for people, you know? It's just, it's a lot of things. It's a whole lot of things.
What are you waiting for?
This is...
If a show doesn't immediately make a bowl of money, it gets cancels a tax. I mean, that's also a problem, but like... Does anime get to at least avoid that, kind of? Because most anime is an adaptation, so they at least have a vague idea, like, yeah, people will probably watch this. Like...
I mean, it still depends, right? You can still have an adaptation from, like, a popular book series and it would suck.
Right, but I just mean, like, because they don't cancel because it's bad. They cancel because they think it's not going to make them money. I think they avoid it by being Japan and not having the same tax codes. You know what? Yeah, that's fair.
Become through execution. Let these powers unite.
So I'm just stacking these, like, garbage personas I'm picking up. While we have this conversation.
I will say through the calls for college set Persona are capped. The premise is too connected to adolescence and high school. Creepy stuff is either fans being weird on the internet. Keep in mind, all games, all social links with romance end on just fading to black. In game, it's nothing crazy or dumb fan service scenes that could be cut with no consequences. But they also have a very similar issue.
See, here's the thing. I don't think Persona set in college is 100% cap. I think there's something you could do with that because, like, let's be completely realistic. You're still an adolescent in college a lot of the time. I think the symbolism and everything of leaning it towards, like, the unknown future could still work in a college setting. You'd have to have most of the cast be, like, fresh in college. You couldn't really do this with someone who's been in college for, like, 7.5 fucking years. But, like, you know, I think there's something you could do with the idea of, like, I don't know what my future is, and that's, like, the jumping off point of, like, the uncertainty.
I think college has a lot more jumping points where Persona could get darker in college, which I think would be really cool. So it's kind of like the finding yourself bit, whereas you don't find that as much in high school. It's very much like, oh yeah, we do this together. It's kind of like naive.
You say that, but Burnt Out 6 year senior. Well, yeah, you have, like, one of them, right? Like, you have them there because it's funny.
Why did you wrap my message in the end of that? I was just reading.
I think Salem just wanted to run on sentence mode.
I was just reading.
That will do.
This is
I think it would be really cool to have college
I think
Persona.
it could work.
I also think it would be cool to have a Persona game set as, like, a basic bored out of their skull office worker and, like, as an adult, and then they just decide to go, fuck it, I'm so tired of everything, like, what is even the point? And then they end up in the Persona land.
I think...
And then they find their purpose.
Hey, Salem.
What?
I think you just need to play SMT. Unfortunately, I think you're just describing, like, 5 different SMT games.
I do want to play SMT. I gotta buy them.
Don't get the Steam version of Nocturne. It crashes all the time, apparently.
Plug. Please play SMT. I do want to play SMT. Unironically.
Cockturn.
Yo!
SMT 5 is good. Yeah, I've heard 5 is pretty good. Apparently, like, the 3DS SMT games are, like, really good. Like, there's, like, 2 of them, I think, and apparently they're, like, solid.
It will kick your ass, though. That's fine. As long as I'm aware of it at first, you know?
As long as I know the safe
it's like,
word,
you might
I'll
as
be
well
fine.
fucking... What's that stupid bumper sticker? If you're gonna ride my ass, at least pull my hair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No slacking off.
And anyway, we're a bit stronger now.
I don't know. Like, I feel like it would be really cool to, like, have, like, a really basic but really relatable storyline for a slightly older population of people playing this game. Because, like, as much as I love in anime and games, it's like, oh, you're 16, 17, 18, 19, like, and then you go on this adventure. Like, that's sweet.
Yeah.
What about when you're older? Like, I feel like
Right, and
when you
that's
get
just-
a little older, it's forgotten. And it's like, that's,
that's
the most
like-
important time.
Well, that's like the issue, right? Because that's just what people in Japan like actually deal with. That's why all the RPG protagonists are like 16, right? I do think College Persona could unironically work. It would obviously have to be a little different, but I think it could work quite a bit. I genuinely think that whole vibe of like, oh, I don't know.
It could start as a bad hangover. Like at a party and they think they got roofied. That would be kind of sick.
Like, I think the vibe of, like, the uncertainty of, like, you know, I don't know what I'm doing. I feel like the people around me have a better idea of what's going on than I do.
Yeah.
And, like, that camaraderie that you end up with could work very well.
Your healer could be a person who's training to be a doctor, that their parents are forcing them to be a doctor, and they don't want to be a doctor. They want to be something else.
I think the biggest issue is none of us know how Japanese college works, so we're just assuming it would be structured like American school, and, like, I don't really know if that would work out for, like, gameplay-wise. Because if it works out like American college, then that at least, you know, by nature kind of helps you weave in the whole social link bit because, you know, you just have a lot, you know, your schedule's up to you. Like, you have all the free time you can squeeze in, but, like, I don't know how Japanese school works.
But afterwards, I want to do it again. She just can't stop.
Yeah, I know, so she's a little psycho. I was having sleep, watched my friend play DS17 on a road trip. Looked pretty cool for whatever that's worth. Yeah, I mean, that's fair. Sometimes it just needs to look cool.
I don't know. I think that's something that really drew me to Stardew Valley.
What?
Sorry, I was going back a topic.
Oh, no, sure, you're good.
That was something I really liked about Stardew Valley. It was very relatable as an adult.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and then you're like, oh yeah, Grandpa died. By the way, here's a farm. You know.
Right, yeah. The fucking dream.
You could have a scene where one of your party members' roommates crashes out at you for cleaning the dishes. You could have another one where it's like, hold my hair while I'm throwing up. I don't want to. Like, that would be funny.
Yeah, no.
You could choose between finals or parties.
Like, I don't think like, say, Persona 5 would work as well if these were not high schoolers, unironically, because that's like the point, right? When you're in college, you don't really have like, the whole thing is about like adults being shitty to kids, right? Persona 4 wouldn't really work. Persona 3 maybe.
It would have to be a different Persona game. Like,
yeah.
I think trying to think about adjusting what these games are.
Yeah.
Like,
I think laying new groundwork could work.
Yeah, like you would, you know, you could have them at college. You could be the main character that didn't even really want to go to college, but they had a free ride or something.
Well, that could be the whole thing.
Like, oh, then I really should go, and they felt pressured into it.
That could be like the whole thing, right? Is like your character is like the one who doesn't have like a decided major because you're the you're the one playing. And it's like that could be part of it, and like other characters kind of give you shit for it or something, and like, you know, that could be that could already lead into it of like, why are you even here? And like, you know, maybe you could secretly have it be like, oh, the bad guy is the dude in charge of the school and he brought you here because he knew you had the persona, or some fucking horseshit to tie it all together if you really wanted to give it like some logical explanation. But like, I think there's shit there that works.
Well, I think it'd be really applicable because in college, in my opinion, I think it's more about inner exploration than it is about what you're physically learning about.
Right.
Not in every major, but in college in general. When you go to college, you most likely graduate with a different major.
Right, yeah,
so,
that happens to a lot of people.
Yeah. So it's like, I think it would be a really good baseline for Persona, and then also you could get some really complex backstories and social links and stuff. It's like it's like that example with like your healer member, right? It's like, oh, they didn't really want to go to school at all. Their parents are forcing them to go to be a doctor, but really they want to be, I don't fucking know, theater major. So it's like that is an entire thing you could go through in your storyline, and then maybe they could decide if they wanted to be a doctor or not.
Well, you know what's funny? Because hold on, Persona 3 might be better because you're older, you have death on your mind a bit more. Yeah. College might be a little young for them to be thinking about death that often, but yeah, that's a good point.
I mean, you say that, but also, when I was in college, one of my class members jumped off a bridge.
That's a little different.
You know, well, there's a lot of death in college. Like, there was also people who were attacked in their dorm and died. There was...
Right.
Suicide stuff is very common in college because it's such a big change to what people are used to, and it's very easy to isolate yourself because you're out on your own for the first time.
Yeah, some people just can't fucking handle it.
Mm-hmm.
Persona game where you're just some solo dude with Persona building, you're the one who's on the real Protax team for causing shit and whatever that game Shadow Realm is. I think New Hampshire just sucks.
I mean, yeah.
Well, you see, it's funny because you mentioned the whole like doctor, like going for doctor or something artsy bit. There's a character in Persona 3, if you remember, like her social link. It's just that if you said it in college, you could bring some of those characters from other Persona games in and have them just be party members now. Even,
you could,
if you wanted to, like
Mitsuru.
Well, I meant like characters who were like social links before and couldn't do the fun shit, you know. I don't think I trust the internet with, like, college girl Mitsuru, honestly.
How is it every time you talk about New Hampshire, it gets worse and worse? Why are you guys acting like college mental health is totally chill across the country?
Yeah, no, I was gonna say, I don't think that's just a New Hampshire problem. Like,
that's how nice it is out west, bud. Oh, hold on. Screw all this brainstorming. Salem is cooking. We set a Persona game in New Hampshire. It's not even that close to that bad here, my guy. Yeah. It's honestly, like, out Midwest is, like, honestly fucking goated. Also, you said college girl Mitsuru?
oh, yeah, but you can't really speak for college life in the Midwest is like Salem.
You could take,
Okay,
you
I
could have
mean,
Mitsuru. Okay, we could have Makoto, Mitsuru. We could pick one from each one.
I guess would look the same. She's a robot.
She could get adjustments. She's a robot. It's fine. You could, like, age up some of your old party members and all go to college with them. Have college-age Mitsuru. She's in the fighting game.
Yeah.
That's a pretty strong one.
I thought that said fornicate instead of Fornius.
I see.
Sorry.
This is certainly a
The
powerful
fornication
persona.
demon.
Awful. I like his gay little crown.
He's skilled linguistically. This guy knows a lot of words.
He knows how to use that tongue, I guess. I don't know.
Nope.
I can't make any jokes. Sorry. Midwest Persona, where you're trying to balance your Persona life with your quick trip day job life.
There's no other part-time job option. You have to work at Quick Trip.
There's Quick Trip or Culver's, and based on which option you choose, makes the entire premise of the game change.
Imagine the stat boost from cheese curds.
Dude, you joke, but I have garlic cheese curds in the fridge right now, and they're fucking goated, and I put them in a little bit of mac and cheese earlier. Oh my fucking god, I was gonna, like, bust. It was so good. I love cheese curds. Cheese curds are so good. The cheese curds restore your mana.
Choose which skills to inherit.
No, during October, there's Spirit Halloween hiring. It's a special limited time social link.
That would suck dick.
You could have it from, like, August to November or something. I also had another idea for, like, a Persona game.
This should be stowed.
Yeah.
Now, hear me out. You could have a Persona game set in a hospital. Because you think about it, right? How many people are in a hospital, in and out every day? How many different people are in and out of hospitals? Different type of things, blah, blah, blah. I think it'd be really cool, because I'm an edgelord, for Persona to dive deeper into cognition of death, or, like, the psychology of evil and all that kind of shit, because that's what I do in my major. I focus on, like, sexual psychology and the psychology of evil, because I'm an edgelord.
I was gonna say, I feel like you're a little biased here.
I am. But could you imagine that subconscious just being this giant fucking hospital?
Wait. Look.
Like,
Your animal friend is just a regular ass cow that can summon a fucked up persona. He can't talk, but he can use magic.
His name's like Beefer.
Oh, not Beefer, dude.
Beefer. Or Angus.
Oh, no, not Beefer, dude.
What's wrong with Beefer?
That's just rude, I feel like.
No, it's not. Little Beefer, you know? Dog, that's great. No, but could you imagine like a Persona game set in a hospital and you have doctors, nurses, RNs, you have different sections of a hospital to work with. You
Hey,
have
Salem.
Med Surge.
Salem, just play Trauma Center already, fuck.
No, like, dude, a Med Surge section of a Persona game. Oh my
I
fucking
feel
God,
like
that'd be so creepy.
I feel like it'd be more likely like the Velvet Room would just look like a hospital room or something.
No, the Velvet Room would be the waiting room.
The hospital thing is plugged into what I wish JJK would have been. Fucking elaborate? What?
The hospital thing is plugging into what I wish JJK would have been. I don't know. I feel like there's a lot you could do with a hospital idea. And then I noticed with each Persona game, it focuses on almost a different aspect of cognition. Like, a lot of them are like, oh yeah, you know, like blah, 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 blah. Like, they're all kind of based off of different theories.
Right, yeah.
I would really like to see existential theory in a Persona game. Because that's based about death and existence and what it means to live. So it's like, if you're in a therapy session, and usually you use it for a lot of, like, suicidal ideations, right?
Right.
Or people who had attempts. So it's like, oh, I'm gonna kill myself. Blah, blah, blah. Then it's like,
I see. A strong persona.
okay, what would you tell your cat? What would you tell your dog? They're not gonna know. How are they gonna feel? And, like, give them a crisis about it. Like, that is the point of that therapy, and it's very effective. Because it helps bring a different perspective to shit. I think that'd be really fucking cool to do in a hospital. I assume he means how the main character has a thing about people having good deaths.
No, hold on, let me see. I saw it's episode 1 where it got like the horror basis, so the making the curse feel like monsters rather, or feel like curses rather than monsters. So you can remember one point JJK mentioned, yeah, a lot of hospitals school the curses because of bad emotions there. I think she could be more so a smaller scale horror. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Make it more like a Goosebumps the shonen. Like, I hear you.
Well, I love what Persona goes for, and it's got a little bit of a creep factor, not physically, but like not visually.
When you think about it for too
but
long.
Mentally, and I want them to lean a little bit more into the creep, like, and the dark ideas, because they focus a lot on the psychology, the cognition, like, you know, they just focus on that. And it's like, death is a really cool idea to do for a game, and it has so many different aspects of what you could do with it.
Monster of the week, yeah.
You know, and a lot of these are already monster adjacent.
Yeah.
You know? And is based off of mythos. So it's like,
Let us begin.
I think it'd be fucking dope.
I see. A strong persona indeed. I see. A strong persona
They did you
indeed.
so dirty.
King Frost. I need to see him.
Pretty tough.
King Frost. I'll stim at him every time. I can't help it.
I don't want to give up Izanagi Kagero yet, but like, then we can make Black Frost eventually.
He's so cute.
Great things
do we
are
need?
possible.
We don't have enough.
Do you wish a fusion
I'll keep that in
greater
mind.
than your own power?
Done already? What?
Actually, yeah, because I can't sacrifice them.
Time, inmate.
Also, going in an opposite direction, I think it's really weird how they went with
Hold on, Cam. Fuck, I'll leave.
kind of mid-modern theories of psychology. I'm very surprised we haven't had a Persona game based off of, like, Sigmund Freud.
Because no one wants to remember what the fuck Sigmund Freud was going on about. He was a fucking weirdo on to rail his mom.
He was a weirdo who wanted to rail his mom. I'm not defending that. But I will also say, because of a lot of his ideologies, it sparked the conversation of psychology. A lot of people were like, oh, it just happens, we're not thinking about it. They didn't really have much studies about it till Sigmund Freud was like,
yeah.
It's because at the end of the day, he was trying to explain psychology. Although it was gross and weird, he was trying to explain it in a way you would explain animals.
Yeah.
You know? So it's like, Persona 4 Shadows are kind of it.
They are.
Yeah. But I mean, like, I feel like they could also lean into, like, the whole id, ego,
well, at that
stuff
point,
like that.
At that point, you're basically just asking for Persona 3 and Persona 4 to reach, like, a midpoint with each other. Which I wouldn't be opposed of.
The writers, I disagree with you, Titan. I think the writers definitely looked a lot into the psychology in which the game was based on. 100%.
Quick aside, I re-downloaded BS and realized I've lost all my scenes. I thought they're on separate hard drives, but they were saved in app data % at White OS drive, so they're gone. That's rough.
That is rough.
That's rough, but not completely irreparable. I am sorry to do this just randomly right off the rip, but since we're kind of dipping into, you know, there's going to be like a lot of random social link time, I think that would be a good time for us to take a little break, because I need to grab a drink real quick.
Okay.
If you're still yapping, I can just let you keep talking.
I gotta pee really bad, so I'm kind of glad you brought that up. Because
Okay.
my bladder is ready
I'm
to
sorry.
explode.
I know we were having like 5 different good conversations going. I'd hate to cut it like right there, but I just want to... I want to give us a moment to breathe before we're just sitting here for another like 2 hours, because like we're probably gonna get through like these 17 days and then have to cut the stream.
Because, like, I really like, just before we go on intermission, I pretty much just want to say they focus a lot on Carl June for this. for Persona, like he specifically talked about like collective consciousness, dreams, like cognition, personas, like that's what he talked about.
Yeah.
But it's like I want them to also extend to other psychologists past Carl Jung.
I think the problem is when you do that, then you have to fundamentally change how like half the shit works, because like
Yes and no, because a lot of psychologists bounced off of each other. So it's like Sigmund Freud bounced off of like instincts and what he thought like why humans reacted the way they did. Then they bounced off of, okay, well, we have a word for what this space kind of is, this collective consciousness. So now we're going to deep more into that. They kind of build on each other. So I think it could be a really interesting concept in that sense.
Yeah.
Where you could still keep the Carl Jungian stuff.
Come again.
The series can't really exist without it.
Yeah, like you can keep this dream, the dreams, the persona, the velvet room. You can keep all this, but you can also add like maybe like different main enemies or like different levels of the self you have to conquer, like the ego, the id. Like I think that'd be kind of fucking cool. I don't know. There's a lot of really cool things I think you could do.
Yeah. There's ways you can dig deeper into this, but unfortunately, I don't know if they would even really bother, because like it is at the end of the day, like it is just Persona. Like I don't mean to say in like a diminishing way. I love the Persona games, but like at some point the Persona games don't give a fuck. At some point they're like, yeah, we're the fucking RPG with all the demons.
Yeah, just kind of what David said.
There's also 120 hours of this fucking game already, and that's going through casually. Yeah, you're so right.
Persona's main well is Jungian stuff, which I think is at least partially pseudoscience, but interesting from a conceptual perspective. Yeah, his entire thing was mostly pseudoscience, but it was also based off of some fact. For some of it, not all of it, but the idea of collective unconscious was like, okay, why do a lot of people dream of their teeth falling out?
Right.
Like, stuff like that.
And
so it came from a lot of people have collective experiences, but we know now we do not share a collective class conscious.
Right, and the thing is, like, especially back in the day before you could really realize how brains and shit worked, I don't fucking blame people for just thinking there's some weird magic bond bullshit going on, because that's almost easier to explain than how brains actually work.
Yeah. The era when academics would cook too hard, whiff a lot of ideas, but leave a mark was a cool one.
Yeah, back when we all had like half an idea of what the fuck was going on. But anyway, want to go to Dome Town?
Oh, I'm gonna bring your dome to town.
All right,
boy.
we're gonna fucking leave it on there, boys. Don't go anywhere. We're just gonna take a little stretch break, grab a drink or something, and then we're gonna have some more fun Persona time. We'll be back in just a few minutes. Don't go anywhere. Grab yourself a little drink or a snack or something. Take a leak, and we'll be right back. Be prepared for more riveting discussion.